Today is a great enough, amazing, incredible day, and I will tell you why. Because it's a Denmark Day. What nobody told you about Denmark? What did anybody not tell me? What? Without further ado, let's get into this reaction. Let's go.
I want to tell you things that nobody probably told you about Denmark. Okay. We are in Copenhagen right now. It is a beautiful sunny day for Copenhagen. This is actually like unheard of. It's 27 degrees, which means I am melting. 27.
Whoa. She said it's 27 degrees. So this is clearly summer. It's clearly an abnormal summer because 27, even in the UK, is ridiculously hot. That is like, people are stripping naked, people are sunbathing, people are calling sick from work because they're like, I'm not coming into work today because the sun's out. It's holiday, it's summertime, people are barbecuing. Like, I always say this, but Europe is like the best place to be when it's sunny. Rest of the year, don't come to Europe because everyone's depressed, no one wants to talk to you, everyone's got a straight face. But in the summertime, everybody is happy. Am I correct? Everyone's smiling, and it's just the best place to be. So wow, 27 degrees. That's pretty incredible for Denmark. So let's go.
7 degrees here is very hot. So my plan is to take a stroll around the city, show you around, show you all the beautiful sights in Copenhagen, and tell you random, weird, interesting, surprising facts about Denmark. Basically everything you should know about this country. Copenhagen is the city that I grew up in, so I do know it pretty well. And I thought it was about time to make a video like this. So I do know.
Sorry, I just saw the most European image ever. Did you see it?
Know it pretty well.
Did I not see? Look, topless. That girl looks like she's in a bloody bikini in Copenhagen. There's no beach. There's no sand. There's just there's just a canal. This is a canal, right? Or river. I don't know. And they're all naked. Everyone's naked. It's a European thing. We do not see sun. We do not see heat. As soon as we see heat, feel heat, we strip. We take off everything. It's just I don't know. It's very much a European phenomenon. Because if you go to Asia and you go to a beach, that's not a tourist beach. Like, the locals are fully dressed. Nobody is exposing their skin to the sun because they get sun every day and the sun is very strong. But Europeans are like, yeah, whatever, we don't see sun most of the year, so we're going to soak up every last drop of skin cancer. We don't care. I
thought it was about time to make a video like this about Denmark. I've already made a video like this about Poland and China, and you guys seem to like it, so the time has come for Denmark. So we're pretty much in the center of Copenhagen right now. I'm just walking by the water. I thought it's a nice place to show you guys and start this video just to give you some quick background on what Denmark actually is. Denmark is a very small country. The population is only 5 million people, and
5.8 million is wild to me. That's you have less people in your entire country than the city of London. I think London has 7 or 8 million, I think. Yeah, that's wow.
It's located in the north of Europe. It's one of the 3 Scandinavian countries, with the other 2 being Sweden and Norway. Today is an absolutely beautiful day, but don't be fooled by this weather because on average it rains for 170 days here. So what it basically means is that the weather here is just not very great.
I think the climate in Copenhagen is very, very similar to where I'm from in Leeds. I think in terms of latitude, very, very similar latitudes. So I think weather in Copenhagen, I think, is quite similar to where I'm from. So I think I'll be very used to the rainy weather and the cold and the summers as well.
When the weather is like this, people go nuts. Everyone is so happy, everyone is out enjoying the good weather because we simply don't get that much sun here. Yeah. The official language in Denmark is Danish, so we do have our own language. Even though Denmark does belong to the European Union, we also have our own currency here, and it's the Danish krone, so we do not use euro in Denmark. Denmark has some of the highest...
I didn't know that. I actually didn't know you had a crown. I didn't know you had your own. So I'm learning. I'm learning still. I thought you used the euro, but it seems like you don't. That's interesting. A lot of European countries actually kept their own currencies. Like, you know, we've kept the pound, you kept the crown. Sweden kept the krona. I think Norway kept their krona as well. Interesting.
Taxes in the world. You can pay even up to 55% here in tax, and honestly that's not even that uncommon to pay that much in tax if you have higher education, if you are a doctor or a lawyer or an architect, or you are a business school graduate and you're working for a company, you have a decent job, you will probably pay 55% in tax. In Denmark,
I think you have to really love your country to pay 55% in tax. Like, you have to really love where you live, really feel like your government is looking after you to be like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to give you more of my income than I'm going to even keep. Can you imagine working and like you're giving more of what you've earned to the government than you keep? You have to really love where you are. And some people are very, very happy doing that, and respect to you. I don't know what Denmark's like, but Denmark must be a really great place if you're willing to give 55% tax.
the legal drinking age is technically 16, or when you're 16 you can purchase beer and wine, whatever is below 16 degrees percent. A fun fact for some of you guys might be the fact that since you're allowed to drink when you're 16, we are allowed to drink in school. In high school we have...
Hold on, wait. I don't know where my mind... Have you ever watched something? I also have ADHD. I don't know if you can tell. I do. Sometimes I'm watching something and it doesn't go in like initially, so there's a delay. I heard her say 16, but I was a bit confused because I was like, surely, what's she talking about? 16, guys. 16. You can drink alcohol at 16 in Denmark. Wow. That's wild. That's great. Even though it's 18 in the UK, but 16. I mean, I was drinking at 16, I can't lie. I think most kids are drinking at 16. So I guess it's probably better to make it legal and maybe regulate it in a sense. I don't know, but 16, that's very, very, very young. Let me hear that again because it just clearly didn't go in my head.
In Denmark, the legal drinking age is technically 16, or when you're 16 you can purchase beer and wine, whatever is below 16 degrees percent. A fun fact for some of you guys might be the fact that
anything that's under 16% at 16, that's a bit weird. Why is it 16%? And yeah, I don't know. You can get very drunk off 16% volume of alcohol. You can just drink loads and get drunk. I don't know how I feel about that. It must be working out for you guys because obviously we've not heard any crazy stuff about kids getting so drunk in Denmark that they're doing really antisocial stuff. But wow, 16, I still can't get over it. Sorry.
Since you're allowed to drink when you're 16, we are allowed to drink in school. In high school we have parties where we can buy alcohol in school, which...
Yo, did she just say what I think she just said? In school! In school! You can buy alcohol in school! Oh my god. What do you actually mean? They sell alcohol within the school premises. You can purchase alcohol within... You can get drunk at school. Denmark, you guys are crazy. What do you mean? I can understand, yeah. I can understand it being regulated. I can understand you being able to purchase alcohol at 16. You know, when you go to a supermarket or you go to, I don't know if you guys have like a system below get, like a government-run alcohol purchasing place. But within school, where kids are supposed to be learning, for a child to be able to purchase alcohol and get drunk, I don't know how I feel about that. That's weird. Tell me how that works. I'm so interested. Let me know in the comment section below how that works. Let me know if you've ever purchased alcohol while at school. I don't know. Like if I ran a school, I don't know if I'd be like, yeah, that's cool. Like let's just open a liquor store in the school and yeah, kids can purchase it and have a good time at parties and stuff. When yeah, it's fine. What? Mate,
Which I know is quite weird for many people. So usually what you do before these parties is that you meet up either with your friends, or a lot of the time you meet up with your classmates. So you meet up with your classmates for pre-drinks, and then later on you go to school. And the school parties usually start quite early, so you usually start around...
Bro, I'm just saying it so chill. Yeah, before you go to school. What do you mean? Yeah, before you go to school, you have pre-drinks, so you get a bit drunk before you go to school. And then when you get to school, then you drink even more. I'm so confused. Somebody explain in the comment section. Because she's saying it like it's really normal. But for someone that's never lived in Denmark, never been to Denmark, in the UK, that could never happen. What do you mean? I mean, we did pre-drink before, like, school prom and stuff like that, but you'd get in trouble if you brought like alcohol into school. I need to continue because I'm not going to get past this part. Like, this is wild.
8 p.m. and you finish at 12 midnight. And the way it works is that you have to pay entrance fee to like enter your school party. It's usually 50 Danish krones, and you have to show your ID because only people who go to that school are allowed to enter. So then at those school parties, there is a bar and you're allowed to buy alcohol. You're allowed to buy beer or cider, and basically everyone gets wasted. But there are no teachers at those parties, so since we pay for the entrance...
Bro, what the hell is she talking about? I'm still confused. She just said, this is a school party, you pay entrance, you can only get in if you go to the school, well done. But when you get there are no teachers at this school party. Is this party run by the school, but they decided to not have any teachers there? And you can drink at this school-run party at 16. Denmark. That's not normal. That is very unique to Denmark. I have never heard anything like it. I've never heard anything like it. I need to go to Denmark. And you trust your students to behave themselves. Wow. That's amazing. Wow.
Trend school can hire people who, you know, take care of that party. So there's like no teachers. So that's like not a concern that, you know, you cannot get wasted because there will be teachers or whatever. It's
the way she's speaking about getting wasted. You don't have to worry about getting wasted as a kid, a 16-year-old at a party that's run by the school. The school decide not to put any teachers there. She's not explaining the culture behind this. This is not normal. But she's very chill and being like, yeah, that's what we do in Denmark. Guys, wow.
quite an original thing. I don't know if it works like that in any other country. Maybe in others.
No. You're on your own, Denmark. You're on your own. That doesn't work. I've never heard of anything like that before in my life.
Scandinavian countries, but I think in general it's quite unheard of for people to drink at school, like to be able to purchase alcohol at school. That's kind of crazy, I think, but yeah, that's the way we grow up here. Denmark is a country that consists of over 400 islands. We're actually on an island right now as well.
Bro, these guys are like pretty much naked.
Copenhagen is located on an island called, in English it's called the Zealand. We have only one land border, and that's a land border with Germany. However, we're also connected with Sweden by a bridge, and many other Danish islands, especially the big ones, obviously are also connected with long bridges. So there are a lot of bridges in Denmark. So when you're above 18 and you choose to go to school in Denmark, you are paid sort of, I guess you could call it a salary by the government. How much you're being paid sort of depends on your life situation.
Wait, sorry, what? Oh my God. I'm so confused. She's saying a lot of things that are not normal to me and I don't understand, guys. What did she just say? You get paid a salary to go to school. Sorry, wait. Did I hear that correctly? Wait. My parents, why did they not just, you know what? Let's go to Denmark, because we're part of the European Union. Why did I not think, okay, we have freedom of movement around Europe. Let's move to a European country where our kids can have a better life. What? Anyways.
And you choose to go to school in Denmark, you are paid sort of, I guess you could call it a salary by the government. How much you're being paid sort of depends on your life situations, whether you live with your parents or not. If you live with your parents, you're being paid less. If you live alone, you're being paid more. And it's not something you
paid to do what?
Have to ever give back, so it's not a loan. It's basically sort of like being paid for going to school. I really wanted to film this video for you guys here in the city and show you different parts of Copenhagen, but
Sorry, don't change the subject. The way she's just saying, oh yeah, by the way, we get paid to go to school in Denmark, and we can drink in school as well, drink alcohol when we're 16 at school, and they pay us a salary to go to school. What do you mean? What is this? Heaven. Why did I live in, I feel like I was in prison as a child. You guys get all this stuff when you're like literal kids. No wonder you want to stay in Denmark and you want to pay those high taxes. Oh my God. I would too. I would finish high school, say I want to pay into this system because this system is awesome and provided me with some awesome things as a kid. Jesus, you...
Totally underestimated two things. One thing is the weather. The sun is so strong that I'm like low-key dying. I can barely talk anymore. And I kind of want to be sharp for this video because I don't also want to give you like wrong information and mess things up. Another thing that I kind of forgot is that people here stare a lot when you vlog, and since it's a very beautiful day, so many people are out on the streets and so many people stare, which I understand. Like, it's weird to see someone who's like, you know, like I'm just looking for a mirror so I can show you how ridiculous I look right now talking to a camera. I'm basically talking to myself. So
vlogging is really hard, but she's doing an awesome job. Like, it's hard. I'm gonna find it really hard, but I'm very excited when I go to Denmark and I vlog for the first time and I arrive in Sweden and do it there, in Germany. I'm gonna be like, oh my God, this is so weird. But for you guys, I think you just need to just imagine that there's no one around and you're just speaking. Because when I'm here, I'm in a room on my own, guys, and I'm speaking to you. You are behind this camera. I'm speaking to an individual, or maybe individuals, more than one person. And I know you're there, and I have this connection, and I can feel this connection through the camera. And I just feel like I'm talking to somebody, because I am. This is that weird. And that's how you have to deal with, like, vlogging is exactly the same thing. You have to just zone everything out. But it's easier said than done. I've never done it before, so yeah. But I'm willing to look like a fool. Like I'm talking to myself, walking through the streets of Denmark. I will do it. And it's going to be good. It's going to be great. And I'm going to take you guys with me. And you're going to see my first experience of Denmark. Denmark sounds like a bloody wonderland. You can drink alcohol at school and you get paid a salary to go to school for free. You don't have to pay the money back. I mean, standard, right?
So I get it.
Wow.
It does look weird. I understand why people are looking, but
oopsie.
You know, it kind of makes me a little shy sometimes. Sometimes it always makes me a little shy if too many people are looking at me when I'm vlogging, and I start thinking too much about it, and then I'm just like not focused. I am not gonna lie, it is not a day later, it is casually a couple of weeks later, and I thought I have to address it because I look drastically different. I'm a little tan, as you can see. If you cannot tell, I thought I would just say it in case you wouldn't notice. I'm having a dinner with a friend of mine tonight, so I decided that I will just like hang out around the city before dinner and tell you a couple of more interesting facts about Denmark. And right now we are on our way to see probably the most popular place in all of Copenhagen. Not for people who live here, definitely not. Like, I've honestly been here maybe once, maybe twice, but I will show you something that everyone who comes to Copenhagen sort of must see. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you with The Little Mermaid, the most popular
Little Mermaid.
statue in all of Copenhagen, probably all of Denmark. It's very unimpressive, it's very little, hence the name Little Mermaid, not Big Mermaid. Let me show you again in case you've missed it. It is very little, but it's a popular thing to see here in Copenhagen. Yeah, I honestly don't really know why, but so if you come to Copenhagen, I would definitely not waste time coming all the way.
Because the person that wrote, created Little Mermaid, the is it a folklore or the book or the story was Danish, right? I think.
Here just to see it, but what's cool about it is that it's located right by the water. So what I would recommend you to do is to do a cruise, take a boat, do a cruise, and then you can see it as well. I mean, if it's something you're into. I thought I will show you. It's a popular thing in Denmark. I mean, if it's something you're take a boat, do it. What I would recommend you to do is to do a cruise.
Casually, there's a monk there. Cool. It's funny because I see these guys quite a lot where I am. I'm currently in Thailand, moving back to the UK possibly in January. Possibly. Could be either January or April. I'm so excited to be back in Europe. And then like when I'm in Europe, what does that mean, guys? That means I could come to Denmark. And I could come to Sweden. And I could come to Finland. And Germany. I don't know what I'm doing. But you know what? I'm excited to like visit all these European countries that I've been learning about. And Denmark, I don't know what I'm expecting when I go to Denmark. I just feel like I'm going to be like, is this a wonderland? Like, I need to, like, Christiana, like, is it Christiana, the area in Denmark as well? Like, I don't know. You're a very interesting country with a lot of history, just like England. But your way of life is just very different, similar, but very different to England. Yeah, I don't know what I'm expecting. I'm really excited though. Anyways.
Cruise, take a boat, do a cruise, and then you can see it as well. I mean, if it's something you're into. I thought I will show you. It's a popular thing in Denmark. This singer who made a very famous song that I think everyone knows, Lean On, Mu. She's Danish. The building right behind me, this one, is the headquarters of Maersk. Maersk is basically a huge Danish shipping company, and in general, shipping is a really big deal, a huge industry here in Denmark, and it is estimated that apparently 10% of globally traded goods are shipped in Danish containers. Some of other big Danish companies that are known all around the world are probably Lego, the toys.
Lego's Danish. Didn't know that.
Pandora, the jewelry,
Carlsberg, Pandora? Mate, no, I did not know this.
Beer, Bank Olufsen. So in general, considering the fact that Denmark is such a small country, there are quite a lot of like big globally known brands and companies that come from Denmark. In Danish,
I find that with Scandinavian countries, I find that for small countries, your productivity is kind of crazy in scale. Like you these massive, like Lego, Carlsberg, what? In a little population smaller than London, but yet your productivity is through the roof. I don't understand. Like, what did you say? How many percentage of shipping containers is from you? How are you able to do that? That's so, like, Sweden, Spotify, what? Come on now. Like, I don't know. Crazy. Norway with their oil, like, I don't know. I just feel like for small countries, you guys find a way to be very, very productive. So well done.
school, you get 2 grades, one for writing and one for speaking. Not in all classes. Mainly you get 2 grades in like most important classes. So you get 2 grades in like Danish, English, even math, which I guess maybe for some people it wouldn't really make sense. That you also get a grade for like speaking in your math class. But that basically means that it's really important in Denmark to speak up in class and like, you know, raise your hand. And it can totally happen that, for example, you're good at math, so you have a really good grade, and your written math, whatever, you have good grades from your tests and homework, but then you're not really that good at speaking up and you have a different grade.
So you have like speaking and writing, they're separate kind of grades. That's really harsh on people that have like anxiety or like worried about speaking out and speaking up. That's really interesting that you have that. I love that she said like 2 grades for Danish, 2 grades for English. So English is like a core subject for you guys. Makes sense because you guys can speak incredible English. So it makes sense that you studied that in school from a very young age.
Math speaking. Danish grading system is kind of interesting as well. So we don't have the same grades as you have in many other countries like ABC. No, we have a 12 numbers grade system, with the best grade being 12 and the worst grade being -02. Yes, I know. And it's not like they go right after each other. So it's not like 10, 11, whatever. No, it's -02, 00, 02, 4, 7, 10, and 12. So there is no 5, there is no 6.
Oh.
So it's 4, and then after 4 comes 7. I know it sounds very complicated, but yeah, that's what we do here.
Listen, grading systems are really weird all around the world. America has A, B, C, D, whatever. We used to have A, B, C, D in the UK, then we changed it. Now it's points. Now it's like yours. It's I think it is. I think it's numbers now. I don't know. I'm too old. I'm not in school anymore. But if you're a British person watching my video, I don't know why you would be. Correct me in the comment section, but it's changed in Britain as well. It's not A, B, C, D anymore. It's like, yeah, it's numbers, I think.
I don't know why, don't ask me why. In the Danish alphabet, we have 3 additional letters that I'll put on the screen right now that we don't have in the English alphabet. The second oldest amusement park in the world is located here in Denmark. It's called Bakken, and it was founded in 1583, I think, Denmark alphabet. The second oldest amusement park in the world is located here in Denmark. It's called Bakken, and it was founded in 1583. I think the oldest one is located in Austria. But yeah, the second oldest is here in Copenhagen, or like a little bit outside of Copenhagen. Actually, the third oldest amusement park is also located here in Copenhagen, and it's called Tivoli, and it's located right in the heart of Copenhagen, right next to the central station actually. The concept of owning a summer house is very popular in Denmark, and it is estimated that apparently around 10% of Danes own a summer house or a summer cottage, whatever you would call it.
If that's 10% of Danes, is that 10% of the most wealthy Danes? Because that's owning a second home, right? A summer house. They have the same thing in Sweden as well. Summer houses. Owning summer houses is a thing. But she said 10%. I'm guessing it's 10% because there are a large percentage of people that can't own a second home.
In the countryside, Denmark is a monarchy. We have a queen here, and the queen lives right here. This is the royal castle of Denmark. It's called Amalienborg. And yeah, the queen lives here, and you can just like walk past, as you can see.
I love that your palaces are very chilled and very open. It's very welcoming and opening. Not that Buckingham Palace isn't, but it kind of isn't. It's like a long driveway that takes forever to get down, to walk. Her driveway is a good 10-minute walk. Then you reach the roundabout, then you reach her house, but then the gates are like 7 feet tall, surrounding the entire house. Whereas yours, it just looks like you just walk up to the house. You can probably knock on the door and say, hey, can I come in for a cup of tea?
Yeah, wow. There are basically
Still a
4
beautiful house.
buildings here,
Houses.
and each of the buildings is meant for like the different part of the royal family. So like, let's say the queen lives in one building.
You have a guard though still.
And she has 2 sons, so the other son lives in the next building. You get the point. In general, Danish monarchy is not as crazy intense like in some countries. The oldest one
Like some countries, she means England. Because we have the most famous monarchy, and yeah, it's a bit weird.
married a woman from Australia who was just like a normal person. She was not from a royal family. She was just a lawyer in Australia. And the other one married a woman from Hong Kong actually, but they got a divorce, and now I think he remarried again. So the point is that the whole royal family thing in Denmark is a little bit more open. They are allowed to marry normal people. They are allowed to get divorced. Of course, there is always a discussion whether a royal family is needed or not, but I would say that majority of Danish people do like the queen. The biggest island.
Yeah, because she's low-key. They've found a happy medium place where things are a bit more open with the royal family. In Britain, I when I was younger, I didn't really care for the royal family, and I was like, get rid of them. We could just turn their house into a museum. We don't need a queen. We don't need a royal family. Blah de blah. But now as I've got older, I'm like, yeah. And I moved out of England for a bit. It's like, oh yeah. And I actually was out of England when the Queen died, and when Charles was coronated. It made me feel quite proud to be a British person, and I thought, actually, yeah, I really do like our monarchy. I just feel like our monarchy needs to be a little bit more like your monarchy. It needs to be a bit more low-key. We can't be having these expensive, lavish coronations and funerals. We need to... the taxpayers pay too much to them, I think. That's my concern with our royal family, and all the rules and all the scrutiny if you marry outside of royalty, and it's too traditional still. It needs to be modernized, and that's my only issue. Our royal family needs to be modernized a bit.
In the world, Greenland is actually a part of Danish territory, or it's a part of the Danish kingdom. And other islands that are also quite far away from Denmark, that are also part of Denmark, are the Faroe Islands. They're right above UK. They're those tiny, tiny islands. And obviously people in Greenland and in Faroe Islands, they do have their own language, but Danish is also a language commonly spoken in Greenland and Faroe Islands. So if you speak Danish, you can communicate in Danish there.
It's interesting. I don't know. I don't know if I watched this on the channel. I'm not too sure, but I looked into the Faroe Islands, and it's interesting. No, I googled this because sometimes I do weird things like Google and ChatGPT, and I was asking. I was like, why? Because the Faroe Islands are very close to the UK. I think they're just as close to the UK as they are to like maybe Norway and Denmark, maybe closer, to be honest, to Scotland. And I thought to myself, why did the UK not like conquer the Faroe Islands and Iceland, actually, seen as the UK conquered most of the world? Like, you know, when it was colonizing most of the world, why didn't it think, oh, let's go just a bit north and take over the Faroe Islands and take over Iceland? It must be just because they didn't see any worth in terms of resources. They cared about resources, and clearly those places weren't strategic for the UK to own, so we just didn't. But the Faroe Islands, I always look at the Faroe Islands and think, oh, they must be part of the UK, but they're not. I wouldn't mind visiting the Faroe Islands because it's not that far away from where I live. Anyways.
You might have heard about Denmark in context of happiness. Denmark has been voted the happiest country on earth. I think
they need to stop doing that. Because Finland was the happiest place on earth, and like, what does that even mean? What does that mean?
Several years in a row, and when Denmark doesn't occupy the first place, it's always like high up on the list. My personal opinion on it is that partly I do agree with, but partly I disagree. It's kind of like a bigger topic. I was actually considering making a whole video about it. Maybe I will one day. So in general, I kind of do see why people would consider themselves happy here. Denmark is a small, wealthy country where the social security is very good. You know that if something will happen to you, the system will take care of you, the government, you will get help. So I do understand why this feeling of safety and the fact that Danes really trust the system, it makes people feel happy in general. However, is Denmark really like the happiest country, one of the happiest countries on earth? I wouldn't be so sure about it.
It sounds like she's undecided. It's hard to tell, especially if you don't speak to everybody. You need to go out on the streets and speak to people and interview people about Denmark being the happiest country. I'm surprised there probably is a video on YouTube with someone doing that, but yeah, who knows? It seems pretty happy.
Denmark is also the birthplace of a very famous word, probably the most famous word in the Danish dictionary, hygge. I made a whole video about it. You might have seen like hashtag hygge on Instagram, and yeah, it's basically a word that means like the feeling of coziness, happiness and well-being. It's a word that you don't have in the English language, and
oh, you have 7-Eleven. Cool.
That's like one of the reasons why it became so popular. Denmark is also well known around the world for bike culture. A lot of people bike here. It is estimated that apparently 50% of people use bike to get to work in Copenhagen. And to be honest, I totally believe that. I would even maybe say that it's more, I don't know, but it is very normal to own a bike here. I mean, normal, everyone owns a bike here, and most of people use bikes very frequently. Danish women got the right.
What about motorbikes? What about like because bicycling is not very popular in Southeast Asia, but a lot of people are on scooters. I drive a scooter here. I rent a scooter here, and yeah, electric scooters, not electric scooters, or petrol scooters or mopeds. Are they big in Copenhagen? Let me know.
To vote in 1915, which is 4 years earlier than women in the US. So this street right behind me is probably the most popular street in all of Copenhagen. You always see it on all these like postcards, or if there is a picture of Copenhagen, you probably see this street right here. It is called Nyhavn. So Nyhavn is definitely a very touristy place. There's always tons of people here, and it's not really a place where you hang out if you live here, but I guess that's how it always goes. If you live in Paris, you don't necessarily hang out by the Eiffel Tower.
That's true. If you live in London, you don't hang out. You do not hang around like Big Ben. You just, in fact, you stay away from those places because there's so many tourists. So I get exactly what you're saying.
Sure, but if you come to Copenhagen, I would definitely recommend you to come here and take one of the tour boats. Obviously, it is a very touristy thing to do, but I have myself done it a couple of times when I had people visiting, and it is really cool. I think it's really cool to see Copenhagen from the water perspective. So we are at Kongens Nytorv right now, which is one of the main squares here in Copenhagen. Basically like one of the centers of Copenhagen, I guess you can say. And I'm gonna go to take metro now, so I won't be late for dinner because I am always late. So I don't want to be late today.
Change at Copenhagen Central Station for the M3 line, regional trains and
Oh my gosh, the English is so clear. Sounds like London.
And you know, it's also funny or interesting how fast cities change, like how dynamic big cities are, and that's something I really love. So this whole area where we're walking right now, it's like right behind the central station. The central station is actually right there, and it used to be like not the best area. Not that it was like a horrible area, but it was just like not the most like desirable, cool area to live. And a while back, a couple of years back, it slowly became more of a like upcoming hipster neighborhood.
Gentrification. That's always the case. This is why they say, always, like, if you're gonna like purchase property or something, look at like a place that's up and coming, because house prices could just all of a sudden go through the roof, or property prices in general.
And now when I'm walking around here, I'm almost like don't really like recognize it anymore, because it changed so much and it became like so much cooler. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you've learned some stuff about Denmark that you might not know. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. It would...
I've been to Bali. It's very nice. I still can't get over the school stuff, guys. The school stuff. Somebody explain. That might have to be an entirely another video, all about the school stuff. I cannot believe you can drink in school as a kid, as a 16-year-old kid. You can drink alcohol. And you get paid to go to school. You get paid. The government pays you money to go to school. That's crazy to me. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. Until the next one, I will see you very soon.